Hey guys, welcome to my channel. Today I am doing an everyday eye look, and this one is very specific, obviously by the title of this video. This is something that I kind of wish was around when I was growing up, because I feel like being Asian, it was really hard to find beauty role models that would really share tips for people who looked like me. And so that's why I love the fact that now there's YouTube and we don't have to look to magazines to like show us how to do a like cut crease eye look, and I'm like, I don't even have a crease. So if you are anything like me, if you are Asian and you have a monolid, hopefully this video is helpful for you. I truly wish that I could have watched a video on how to apply eye makeup when I was growing up, because I really feel like I was just walking in the dark. And a little backstory on me, I was actually adopted from China. So I grew up with a Caucasian family, and there just wasn't really anybody to be like, hey, you are beautiful the way that you are being Asian. I mean, obviously like my family was encouraging, but what I'm saying is that I grew up around people who didn't look like me. And so my instinct growing up was, how can I look more white, or how can I look like my family, or like basically everybody who lived around me. I grew up in Nashville, and so Nashville is predominantly Caucasian, and we're like trying to get a little bit more diverse, but we're definitely not there. And so I grew up actually outside of Nashville. So I grew up in Brentwood, Tennessee, which is even less diverse. And so I grew up maybe like one of 3 or 4 Asians in my entire high school of like 1,400 people. Basically, I had no one to look to for advice on being Asian, or like how to do your makeup when you're Asian, because it's definitely not the same as if you are white. I definitely want to just embrace who I am these days. I feel like honestly until this last year, I really didn't like that I was Asian. I thought it made me different or kind of weird, but like not in a good way. But really just this last year, I've started to come into myself and embrace who I am, embrace my Asianness, flat nose, no crease, eyelid, and I've just started to really love the way that I look, and now I view it as something that's really beautiful and different, something that makes me special in Nashville. And so yes, I hope if you are watching this and you are also Asian, or maybe you feel like you don't fit those beauty standards that if you're in America has set for you, I just hope this video encourages you that you are like so beautiful and perfect the way that you are, and this video is for you. And I want to just speak truth into that, because you don't have to change yourself to be beautiful. Like, you are already beautiful, and this makeup is just like accentuating what you already have. So we're gonna go ahead and get into it. I wanted to give you guys a little bit of a background on me and why, I don't know, why I just felt kind of lost growing up being Asian in Nashville. But now we have YouTube where you can find role models and people who are giving advice who look just like you. Went ahead and zoomed you guys in. I look so funny right now because I basically did an entire full face of makeup without putting anything on my eyes. And I actually went to the dentist this morning, and they kind of messed up my foundation around my chin. So I'm really sorry if like my foundation and like whole base is kind of like not great, but we're gonna go ahead and just roll with it. So a few things before we get into it. Palettes. Knowing what tones look good on olive skin. Didn't know that was a thing growing up. Wore a lot of really weird shades that I look back on now and I'm like, that didn't look very good on me. And that's because of my skin tone. I used to wear like a lot of light blues. I don't know why. I basically wore the eyeshadow that my cousin, who is Caucasian, would wear. And it looked really good on her, so I was like, it's gotta look good on me. And now looking back, I'm like, oh, honey, you needed some help. So if you are wondering what eyeshadows look good on your skin tone, whether you are a little bit lighter than me or a little bit darker than me, we tend to have a little bit of an olive skin tone, sometimes a little bit of like a greener undertone. And so I typically stick to neutrals. You cannot go wrong with neutrals. And for a really long time, I liked to wear really warm neutrals. And I've kind of come to find that a cooler neutral palette looks better on my skin tone. Obviously, you and I will probably not have the same skin tone. So go to a Sephora, go to an Ulta, and swatch things on your skin, see what looks good before you purchase. But I just wanted to share with you a few palettes that I personally love and I think look great great on my skin tone. So the first one I've mentioned a lot. This is the Sephora I Love palette in Cool Medium. And this palette is a little small guy, great for traveling, great for everyday use. This is a very unintimidating palette, very, very user-friendly. So I love this palette because it gives you some really great shades. So you have your base shade, a lighter shimmer shade, a kind of gold shimmer shade, and then you have this like cool brown. Then you have your mattes down here. This palette comes in different colorways, and the other ones are kind of the same layout where you have 3 shimmers, 3 mattes. Depending on your vibe, you can get an all matte palette or you can get a shimmer palette. I love shimmers. If I'm gonna do my makeup and like put stuff on my eyes, I want it to be noticeable. So I like to do these like shimmer shades right here, but it has some really great just light to dark tones. When I'm looking for a palette, I want something that is super versatile, that goes really light and really dark. That way you're not having to switch between like 4 different palettes to get one eye look. So this one right here, I would say is my top recommendation, especially if you are just getting into makeup or you're just wanting to try out an eye look. I highly, highly recommend this one. I'm gonna link it down below in the description box. Like I said, there are other versions of this, but I think this is a really safe bet. My second palette recommendation is this one from Morphe. This is the 25B palette, which means that there are 25 shades in this palette. This is also a great travel palette because you have a lot to work with. With this palette, you could switch up your eye looks if you're traveling or just throughout the week. If you wanted to do a shimmer look, you have tons of shimmers. If you want to do an all matte look, you also have that option. This one's a little bit trickier to travel with, obviously because of the size, and then it doesn't have a mirror. So that's the only downside to this one, but Morphe palettes are super affordable. You get tons and tons of shadows. I love their shadows, so I'm gonna link this one down below. This is a great neutral palette. This one has a lot of warm tones as well, so if you really want to kind of try out warm and cool, this is a great palette for that. And then the last palette that I have is the Morphe Fall to Frost palette. This is the 35F palette, which I believe would mean there are 35 different shades in here. This is the Big Daddy. Almost all of these shadows are shimmers. So if you are a shimmer lover like I am, these 4 rows are all shimmers. So you can do tons and tons of looks with this palette. This palette will last you for forever. The thing I love about this palette though is that it has a black, and black can be a really intimidating eyeshadow to use, but I like to use these deep colors like the dark brown and this black for almost like a smoked out eyeliner. But those are 3 of the ones that I grabbed that are super versatile. I'm gonna go ahead and link some other ones down below in the description box as well, around like 5 to 10 palettes I think you guys will love, and that will be very, very user friendly. For brushes, I'm not super picky when it comes to brushes, but I have found a few that I really like, and I thought I would just go ahead and share them with you anyway. I like to use the Sigma brushes. They have become my favorite. So the 3 that I actually use the most is this Sigma smudge brush, and this one is perfect to kind of smudge out a kind of eyeliner look. The next brush that I use is the Sigma Firm shader, and I like this one because the bristles are pretty compact, so you have a lot of control when moving around the color on your eyelid. And then I use the Dome utility brush. I like to use this one on the inner corners of my eyes because it fits just perfectly right there. Those are the 3 that I use every single day. And then I actually have an Eco Tools brush. This is an angled crease brush, and even though we don't have a crease, I love using this because it's a pretty loose bristled brush, so you can really sweep the overall color. So like your base, you'll use this brush. For this eye look, for my everyday, what I throw on, just routine, don't even really think about it, I'm gonna use the Sephora palette, mostly just because it has a mirror and my other ones don't, and I need a mirror. We're gonna go ahead and start with this shade right here. I'm gonna use this little fluffy all over eye brush. This is gonna be your base, and I actually forgot to mention, I've been using the Glossier Bubble Wrap Eye and Lip serum on my eyes when I do my morning routine, so that my eyes aren't dried out and so that my eyeshadows and products stay on. Use an eye cream. I love the Glossier one. If you guys want that 10% off, I do have a link down below in the description box where you can get a discount on that. Apply it all over my eyelid. You don't have to be precise with this step. And honestly, when it comes to like technique, I'm not a pro, but I know at least how to make myself look like myself. I feel like when I've gotten my makeup done by makeup artists, and I've gotten it done a few times by different makeup artists, and every time someone else does my makeup, for some reason it doesn't look like me. I zoomed you in again, and I'm so sorry if this is too close for comfort. Very close for me. I'm gonna use this brush. This is the Firm Shader brush, and I'm gonna take this light matte shadow right here, and I'm gonna apply this almost all over the lid. So obviously we're not gonna go way up to the brows, but I like to just kind of put it in this area right in here. Don't be afraid of color on your eyelid. And also, you can practice this. You don't have to like try this out for the first time when you're on your way somewhere, because that can be really stressful. Starting at the base, working up, you can kind of see where I stopped it. I didn't go all the way up to the brows. I forgot to bring my Sigma little blending brush, but it basically looks like this. So this isn't the Sigma one, but I'll link the Sigma one down below. But you want something super, super fluffy to kind of diffuse the line. I like really soft edges when it comes to my eyeshadow. Now I'm gonna take this shimmer shade right here, and I'm gonna use my finger, and I'm going to just kind of swipe it onto my lid where I had applied that previous color. So close to the lash line, and it just adds a nice little kind of depth and reflection to your lid. So after I apply the shimmer shade, again, I'm gonna go in with the fluffy brush, and I'm just gonna diffuse any lines and just try to make it as soft as possible. Now I'm gonna take this kind of flat brush, and I'm gonna go in with this dark shade right here and use this as an eyeliner almost. And I'm gonna focus this starting right here on the end and almost applying it like an eyeliner. You can see the difference of adding that kind of deeper shade really kind of adds some drama to the eyes. When I was growing up, I would always say like, oh, I don't need eyeliner. Eyeliner isn't necessary because you can't see it, because the way that my eyelid kind of folds, it gets hidden, but it really does make a difference. So if you do not use eyeliner, or eyeliner feels intimidating, I highly suggest just trying a dark shadow. So when I want like a super, super glam look, I use the Glossier eyeliner that I really love, but for my everyday, I just use an eyeshadow because I like the softness of it. I'm gonna take this middle shade right here, and I'm gonna apply this on my lower lash line, starting on the outside and working in. And I don't bring this all the way across. I bring it to about the middle, but I just like to softly work it in so that it gives it a little bit more definition on the bottom. So now I'm gonna take the little highlighter brush that I love, and this shade right here, and I'm going to apply this on the inner corners of my eyes to make me look more awake. This is my favorite part of the routine. And then I'm going to take this shade again, and I'm going to apply it kind of below the brows. And obviously I would do my brows if you could see them, but they're kind of covered by my hair, so I don't really mess with my actual brows on a daily routine. But I like to apply this underneath my brows because it just kind of lifts the eye a little bit. And to finish the look, I'm going to curl my lashes and apply mascara. I've done fake lashes before. I actually have a video on lash extensions, and honestly, I don't think they look that good on a monolid. And for a while I wore them because a lot of my friends in Nashville had them, and I thought they looked so good on them, so I wanted them. But honestly, looking back on the time that I had lashes, I did not look that good. I wish I could go back and like tell myself, you don't need the lash extensions, you just need to know how to apply makeup. Because now that I know how to apply makeup, I think I look so much better with just mascara. I think eyelashes are just way too dramatic for my eye shape, and it works for a lot of people with a crease because it's lifting, like when you have a crease, it lifts the eye. It just looks more natural with lash extensions. But for people like us who have monolids, our eyelids are hanging over our lashes, so when you put lash extensions on, it makes your eyes look so heavy. So if I could like suggest anything to my past self, it would be don't pay for lash extensions. But you know what? That's how we all learn. So I wasted a lot of money, but it's fine. I'm gonna curl my lashes, apply mascara. I'm not sure what this eyelash curler is. I've had some questions about it. I think you can use any eyelash curler. So the mascara that I'm using is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. I love this. This one is a little bit pricier. If you are looking for a great drugstore dupe, I would suggest the L'Oreal Lash Paradise. And if you are wanting your eyelashes to stay up and big all day long, I opt in for waterproof. Day to day, I don't like using waterproof because it's kind of tough on my lashes to get it off. When I am removing waterproof mascara though, I use the Glossier Milky Oil and that takes it right off. But for every day, I like to use just a normal mascara. Better Than Sex is great because it adds really good volume. One coat of mascara, and I do not apply any mascara to my bottom lashes. I don't know why, I just think it kind of weighs my eyes down. So I like just doing it on the top. This is the final eye look, and this is my everyday eye. This is what I do in the mornings when I'm not talking through it. It takes me 4 minutes to do. I think it just looks really good. It still looks really natural. Like if you look at any of my photos, it doesn't look like I have crazy eye makeup on because I'm not wearing lashes or anything like that. So it's still super natural. But I think it just gives a little bit more of definition to my eyes, and I love the way that it looks. But I hope you guys found this video helpful, and like I mentioned, I'll be sure to link all of those products down below if you're looking for very user-friendly palettes. If you enjoyed this video though and you found it helpful, please give it a big thumbs up and leave me a comment down below if you like this type of video and you want to see more like Asian eye makeup tutorials. I feel like I'm finally embracing being Asian this year, well this last year. It just feels really good to like love the way that you look and not want to change it. If you are new to my channel though and you want to stick around, be sure to hit that subscribe button, and I will see you in my next one. Bye guys!